Hello again, long time no see, and a brand new hello to all you new people who are here because of my little RWBY Volume 4 animatic. I'm glad you liked it and thought highly enough of it to subscribe, although I want to warn you that I don't do stuff like that very often, to be honest. I made that video because I wanted to join the contest and win the contest and show off my cool RWBY designs. I do not regularly make animatics. Maybe someday that will change, and if I do any more animation in the future, I'll probably put the videos here, since this is supposed to be my general space as an artist. But at this moment in time, that's not what this channel is for. Just putting that out there so no one will be disappointed. And now for what I actually do, making up cool character designs and talking about them. Today we're going to start another RWBY redesign series, this time featuring Team Witch, that is Salem's main minions, Watts, Tyrion, Cinder, and Hazel. Many wise people have asked, if what Salem wants is the relics, and to get the relics she needs the maiden powers, then why are the majority of her servants older men who are literally incapable of obtaining those powers? Like, apparently we are supposed to believe that putting all her eggs in the one basket that is Cinder, who has a 16% success rate by the way, is a good and smart plan befitting an ancient evil mastermind. Well, this AU, which I guess I'm calling Maiden Hunters, imagines a world in which Team Witch are young women who are actually eligible for the maiden powers, and work together to hunt down existing maidens in order to get them. And we're going to start with the female-gendered counterpart of Arthuria Watts. First, let me say I miss the mustache. I really do. I tried to come up with a different way to incorporate it, but I couldn't think of anything I liked as much. It's just, the original is so silly and goofy, and it makes Watts look silly and goofy whenever he does his evil smile, and that's 50% of my enjoyment of his character. Or maybe I should say, it was 50% of my enjoyment of his character, since he's dead now. Anyway, after I got over the mustachectomy, I mostly made a bunch of minor alterations to the suit. I thought having the shirt hanging out under the vest was kind of silly and sloppy looking, so that's tucked in now. I also thought that some longer coattails might help to define her silhouette, since she doesn't have the giant spider legs of the original design. Maybe she should have them, but the drawing just didn't come out that way, I don't know. So the point of all these minor alterations was to just drag this outfit into something interesting. I tried to put bigger interruptions on her limbs by rolling up the cuffs, anything to make her silhouette something besides just a suit. I added actual details on her shoes, which would probably look even better if she did have the giant spider legs. I don't think Watts' canon design is bad per se, but it's just so uninteresting compared to the other designs in the show. He literally just wears normal clothes. There's nothing special about them that stands out or draws your eye. So I took the opportunity to try to correct that a bit here. So, are we still doing story time? I guess so. It's not as if I don't have ideas about these characters. I have ideas about everything. You're going to learn that about me. So, without further ado, now it's story time. Since this version of Watts is younger, she probably hasn't had time to become a disgraced Atlesian scientist yet. Maybe she was a particularly precocious Atlas Academy student who tried to experiment on her classmates and then got expelled. I don't know, I'm just making stuff up. We really don't know anything about Watts' life, to be honest, so there's not a lot to work with. But part of my reasoning for making this series was to incorporate another clever idea people have had and conceptualize Team Witch as narrative foils to Team RWBY. So with that in mind, I think Watts is an Atlas snob, like Weiss, but instead of learning to value people who are different from her and support as well as lead, she stays stuck in her ways and develops a massive superiority complex, looking down on everyone, including her teammates. So basically, the exact same thing as canon Watts, only in a perfect world we would actually draw attention to this and highlight the parallels between the two characters, up to and including giving Watts an actual fleshed out backstory. Just off the top of my head, maybe this Watts is actually from Mantle, and unlike Weiss, who was raised in a family where everything was expected of her, maybe Watts was raised in a family where nothing was expected of her. People looked down on her and doubted her intellect and abilities just because she came from a bad neighborhood. And after spending her whole life fighting to prove them wrong, now she thinks it's only fair to return the favor. She might even adopt a survival of the fittest attitude, thinking she made it to where she is because she was good enough and smart enough. And if the people she left back home can't excel the way she did, then they deserve to live in poverty. Whoa, that got serious at the end there. I think that's enough for this video, but before I go, let me just say that I think this Watts is super pretty, and I did not expect to love her design as much as I do. Seriously, she's so So gorgeous. Anyway, thank you for watching, like, subscribe, whatever, and check out my Coffee page gallery to see the finished pictures in these videos. Till next time.